In this After Effects tutorial, we're going to take a look at creating a space scene, but more specifically, taking a look at creating planets. Hey, what's going on, internet? Josh Noel from SonduckFilm. We got a great tutorial today because we're going to be taking a look at several different techniques like text along a path, creating our own custom planet, and in general just setting up the space scene with this rocket here. So let's go ahead and get started. The first thing we're going to do is go over to our blank composition. I already have a dark, very dark blue background in here, and you should download this project file because I have the spec map of the planet Earth. And of course, we are going to create our own custom planet, but I also want to show how we can create the planet Earth in a 2D fashion, or should I say more in a flat graphic fashion. So if you download this project file, you can always get this. And we'll go back here to the composition and we'll just drag our spec map right into here. And it's super big, but what I suggest doing is going up to layer, pre-compose, make sure it's selected of course, and leave all attributes in tut main, and we can call this one planet map. And click OK. And we'll go right into our planet map. And to make things simple, let's go up to composition settings, and let's change the width and height to 1920 by 1080. Or whatever aspect ratio that you're going for, but that's good. And then we come here and scale this down and do something like that. So we need to start tweaking this because right now it's gray and black. So make sure the layer is selected. Go up to Effect, Color Correction, Tint, and let's set the map black to white, and let's set the map white to a blue. All right, and that was looking pretty good. And then let's go to Effect, Color Correction, Curves, and let's just go right here and just bring this down, and that'll make it a little bit more contrasted because we can't get the blue to the exact color because it was a gray and not a pure white. But this way we can get that, a darker, blue, a richer blue, should I say. And we go back over to our tut main. As you can see, we have the Earth in here. And what we can do is go to Effect, Perspective, and add the CC Sphere effect. And right at the start, we have our sphere of our planet. And we need to fix the shading of this because we kind of want like a flat Earth, if you know what I'm saying. Like we don't want any contrast or any like gradation. So let's go to the shading here. And let's set the ambient to 100. And let's set the diffuse down to 0. And bring the specular down to 0 as well. And now we kind of have this flat Earth, and we go to the rotation here at the top, and we set the, I think the Y rotation. We can rotate along this entire planet, and we kind of get the idea of what the planet looks like. Now, do keep in mind that this technique that I'm doing is cutting off the planet a little bit, but for what I'm doing, that's fine, because what I want to do is go back into the planet map here, hit S on the keyboard to bring up scale, and scale this forward by a little bit. And we go back here, and I just won't show that side of the planet, but the continents will bigger from my perspective. But if you, of course, want to see the entire planet, make sure that this entire comp is the size of the actual image here. So let's continue to move forward here, and let's add a keyframe for Y rotation. Let's maybe bring this to right here, and let's go to the end of our animation around like 5 seconds, and let's just animate this to come over here like that. And of course, we can go into the radius, and we can make this a little bit bigger. And now we have this entire animation. Of course, if you want to be very specific, you can kind of tilt the planet on its, axis to kind of look like it's, how it's supposed to be in the universe. So that's pretty cool. And now we're done with that. So let's talk about creating the rest of this scene before we create our own custom planet. So what I did for the stars, I went to the ellipse tool here at the top, and I just drew out a perfect circle. I set the fill to like a nice orange there and turn off the stroke. And you click on the word stroke, and you can just turn that off right there. And maybe we'll make the fill just a little bit more rich. And then I went to the ellipse here, and I just duplicated this, a bunch of times and dragged it around. And we're creating this like this nice 2D, space scene. And then I went into each of these ellipses, and I can just come here, hold down Shift, and variate the sizes. And this will just, be a nice little star map. We make some big, some small. Actually, that might be a little too big. So the stars are variated, and we can rename this layer to stars. And let's go to Effect, Stylize, and let's add the glow effect. And we can, of course, maybe increase the glow radius if we want. And what I suggest doing is hold down Alt on your keyboard and click the stopwatch next to glow radius. And we'll come in here and we'll type in wiggle, open parenthesis, 0.5, 40 close parenthesis. And that looks like that. I'll zoom in there. Wiggle 0.5 40. And our stars here will start to flicker. I don't know if you can see that well on YouTube, but it was in the promo. So let's continue to move forward here. If we want to say create like an atmosphere for our planet, what we can do is grab the ellipse tool again. And this time we'll bring up the title safes here, and we'll start right from the beginning. And we'll hold down Command and Shift on a Mac, Control and Shift on a PC, and I'll just draw out a perfect circle, kind of like this. And we can set this to a blue color. Click OK, and we'll put it underneath our planet map. And then let's go right into hit T on our keyboard for opacity, and we'll set this down to like 20%. And if we want, we can make this even a darker blue to kind of make it blend a little bit better. And then let's go up to Window Align and just hit the center buttons here to make sure it's exactly in the center. And then let's take this further. Let's call this one Atmosphere, and let's duplicate it by going up to Edit, Duplicate. And let's put this one underneath our original atmosphere, and let's increase the scale by a little bit, kind of like that. And let's lower the opacity down to like 8%. And this way we'll kind of have like some nice, I don't know, some nice design to this. So we're just not having some lonely planet out here. And then I also want to create like a nice contrast in our planet. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to the rectangle tool, and we're going to draw like a nice little rectangle halfway through our planet, kind of like this. And we can come here and maybe do like a very dark color, kind of like that. And let's go to our planet map, and let's duplicate it, and let's bring it to the top of our comp right above our rectangle shape layer there. And let's set the track matte to alpha matte. And you see we'll have this cutout of the planet. And if you don't see track matte, just toggle switches and modes until you see it. And let's go to the shape layer here. Let's hit T on our keyboard for opacity, and let's bring this down to like 20%. And you see we kind of have that nice contrast there. Maybe we'll do like 30%. And I just think that's really interesting, and that will be on the entire planet like that. Just really cool. Okay, so let's talk about creating our own custom planet here. So let's go into the planet map. And we can maybe turn this off, and we can go up to Layer, New, Solid. And we can, create like just a background. Click OK. So we're going to create the type of planet that you would see kind of like in an explainer video, that sort of cartoon sort of planet. So we can grab like the rounded rectangle tool, and we can start drawing out land masses. We can change the color of this to like, an orange or something. Who knows? That might be a little too bright, but, just go ahead and just keep drawing these out. And we're going to draw like these really custom land masses, almost like an alien planet. Of course, you can get very specific and, put a lot of detail into this. And it all depends on what you're going for. And then once you're done with the first land mass, you can go to scale it down a little bit. And then we can come here, position this. And I'm just going to continue to do this for like every continent that I want to create on this planet. So I'll come in here, just variate the rectangles. And maybe I'll delete, this top one here, and we'll just come through here and continue to variate things. So now I have my custom planet here. I'm going to select everything that I created and just pre-compose it. We'll just call this one New Planet. Click OK. And if we go right back into our main composition here, you see that the planet is automatically swapped out with those new land masses. And of course, you can get very specific and detailed, but as you can see, it updates automatically, and we can start creating our own 2D planets. So let's say we want to put some text along a path. Let's go to the text title tool, and we'll type out our text. I'll call it Planet Sunduck, because this is my planet. I found it and I colonized it with baby ducks. So what we're going to do, if you want to put this along a path, let's say we want to put it along this atmosphere. Let's go into that atmosphere layer. Let's open up the shape layer. Let's go into the contents. Let's go into the ellipse one. Let's right click the ellipse one and click on Convert to Bezier Path. Open up path one, and let's just make sure the path is selected, and let's copy it. And then let's go up to Sunduck, and let's just go to the pen tool. Just click a point anywhere and hit M on your keyboard to bring up the mask. Click on mask path and paste it in there. And then we can just, position this mask right, above the atmosphere, kind of like that. And then we'll close this up, go back into it, go to the text, go to the path options, and set the path to mask 1. And there we kind of have that nice loop. And if we come here, and we can set the keyframe for the first margin, bring it forward in time, and we can just, position the text to be right on top of our planet. And we go to the last keyframe here, and we can even offset it by some more like that. And then we can go into our effects and presets, go into the animation presets, and we go into the text, and we go to animate in, and we can add up the fade up by characters. And if we hit U on our keyboard, we'll see the keyframes. And we can bring this last keyframe in a little bit, the one that we just created for the preset. And as you can see, we'll kind of have that nice little fade up like that. So let's talk about animating this rocket. Let's just drop it right in here. And of course, if you download this project file, you'll get this rocket. But of course, I already made a tutorial on creating this rocket and how to animate it inside of After Effects. You can go ahead and watch that video. It's a very good tutorial for Illustrator to After Effects workflow. But anyway, let's jump right back over here. And all I did was, you know, since we had this nice vector in here, you know, I hit R on my keyboard to rotate it a little bit. And basically, you know, I scaled it down. And I just, you know, animated it off the side. I'm pretty sure no one needed to know how to do that. But, you know, just, you know, this is how you can come here and create a nice little, you know, space scene. And, you know, when things are done, of course, maybe we'll just make this a little bit longer. And then when things are done, of course, make sure to turn on motion blur for all your layers. Make sure to turn it on at the top. And now you have a nice 2D cartoon sort of planet scene for your videos. And after a render, this is what you should have gotten. And the only thing I didn't do in the tutorial was rotate the stars, but you know, no really big deals. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, please drop a like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And please be sure to hit me up on my social media networks. Those links are in the description of this video. And as always, thank you guys so much for watching this video, and I hope you have a good day.